Hello, my name is Sarah Meyer, and this is my Parenthood and Children presentation. Some factors to consider when choosing to become a parent. First one is social pressure. People may feel pressure from family members or their peers to become an adult. They may see that their friends or family members are making that transition and they may feel left out, or that it doesn't necessarily complete them as a person, and so they feel they must become a parent in order to fill that void. Personal identity. Some may not feel complete without a baby or a child in their life. Some think that it gives them a sense of purpose in life to be raising a child. It also can certify one's attainment of adulthood, so having a child kind of gives them that next step into their adult life. Next is money. Children used to be a somewhat source of income way back in the day, as soon as they could practically walk, they would be out in the field, picking cotton or what have you to make that extra little bit of money for the family. But more so now, they are seen as a source of financial liability. So having to pay for child care, for a baby can be up to $15,000 a year, and that's just for child care alone. That doesn't include, any type of food or clothes that you may need to provide. Some economic opportunities may also be lost, more so by women having to give up their careers and losing that career advancement may be something that they would have to consider. Would they have to give up their job just to become a parent? Is that something they're willing to do, or is that something that they would really struggle with? Parents may also find themselves with a loss of freedom and flexibility. They may have to give up their social life to raise a baby, and all those other factors. So some trends in parenting. First one includes childlessness. This is kind of a growing trend. People are choosing to be child-free, and approximately 7% of women in America are choosing that they do not want to raise a child, and they are perfectly happy either just being single or just, being married and not raising children. We're kind of seeing this as socially acceptable now that it's becoming more of a trend. Early parenthood versus later parenthood. In early parenthood, some think that being physically capable is why they choose early parenthood. Also, greater freedoms later, so after the child is older, they are still quite young, maybe in their 50s, so they have a little bit more freedom while they're still kind of in the middle of their life. They also see that they might have more time with their grandchildren later on in life. And also, their own physical health is a great asset to raising any child, especially during the pregnancy months. Some advantages to later parenthood, though, would be parents or men and women feeling the need for personal development, not only in their careers and being financially stable, but also in themselves. They find they have greater maturity, or they're more greatly prepared to become a child bearer or a parent. They find themselves being more patient. They have greater organizational skills because of their work, and also money handling skills. So having to deal with the financial responsibility of a child, they feel a lot more prepared for that. On the downside, though, fertility does decline with age. With that, a higher risk of children being born with genetic abnormalities. Next is non-marital parenting. Women who want children but they don't want marriage. This is also couples, obviously. Couples are not married, but they live together and raise a child together. So this is also known as cohabitation. Changes in social behaviors and expectations is kind of what's changing this. It's becoming a little bit more acceptable to be living together and raising a child and not be kind of looked down upon because, you're not married or what have you. Single mothers is also a trend. Women who have not found a stable life partner yet they would like children. They usually have to do this through sperm donors, in vitro fertilization, that sort of thing. These women usually have very stable jobs, they have a good education, but they see their biological clock running out, and so they want to take advantage of their desire to become a mother. So some advantages in the 21st century include technology, tools and aids that can help in parenting, basically anything that help advances a parent's anything to help a parent. We do have like baby monitors and stuff that have videos on them now and things like that. There's also medical advances, so this more so helps parents that can't necessarily do it on their own. These medical advancements help parents, like in vitro fertilization, help parents become parents. Also, there are greater opportunities. This kind of all goes together, all of these different advantages. There's a bunch of greater opportunities that parents can face when choosing to become a parent. And there's various changing trends. Social behaviors are changing, the norms are changing, and I think this works in the favor of, non-traditional parenthood. Some disadvantages, I put technology in this one as well, because kids and children, as they grow up, can compete for attention. It can be hard with, game consoles like Xbox and PlayStation and things like that. It can be hard for parents to compete for attention and, punishing children may be a little bit harder because, times are changing and there's technology and things like that, so they can always, go on their phone, and so kids nowadays have like iPads, like, every child in the house may have an iPad or something like that. And so whereas, personally when I was growing up, like, I didn't have an iPad when I was growing up. So things are definitely changing. They can be advantages, but they can also be disadvantages. Parents, I think, are becoming a little bit more distracted with work and even their own technologies, being on their phone 24/7, and kids trying to, get their attention, and it just not working, and then this leads to problems for the child later on. And isolation, we see that families are kind of coming into their own isolation, from their friends or whatever. Becoming a parent can, because you're losing that freedom and flexibility, you are kind of isolating yourself. So there is that. And this is my works cited. I quoted the book, and I also found a journal online that I read from the library. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.